Hello, welcome everybody. How's day going for you guys? Uh, so this is interesting day to say the least, but welcome. Today here we are talking about the info session, and there are two certification program we are introducing today to you guys. And if you have questions and all that, again, wait for our presentation and then we'll answer it as we see fit. We can keep going, but I want to just give you very short introduction of what it is you're going to get in UC Extension Silicon Valley. So first thing first, I just want to introduce brief introduction of myself. I am, of course, my name is Bineet Sharma. I am a program chair of the certification program in UCSC Extension. I've been teaching in UCSC since 2011, but I have been teaching in other Bay Area universities since 1996. UC Berkeley Extension, then University of Phoenix. Now I'm uh, head of the department of computer science department in University of Silicon Valley. I'm pretty sure you have not heard about it, which is a 133-year-old university in the Silicon Valley, right in the heart of the Silicon Valley. I'm head of the department there. So it's been there. I've been there in Silicon Valley forever. uh, so I'm technologist in my career, have been, but teaching is my passion, and that's what I do. So what we are going to learn here is like what is this certification program? What will happen if you join this department? Any classes we do in here, what you're going to get, how we work, and all that. So we'll give you a glimpse of that. I don't know how many of you guys have already taken a class or not taken a class. So for now, I'm not going to poll you because I would leave it that one in the question and answer session. Right now, I'm assuming that it might be your first time you're coming in here. So basically, what I want to talk about the context. So we are talking about the computer programming, software engineering, quality control. These are kind of same thing. Try to think what what is the what is the goal of the getting getting training and all that. You really want a gainful employment, job satisfaction, and your career growth. So if you look at the labor statistics, how this one stacks up, computer occupations out of all the STEM occupation is 62% is in computer science. So this is a big deal. So if the big chunk of the pie is in computer occupation. So, uh, you know, if it is very confusing to say, hey, 62% does mean what to you? Okay, just as a glance, look at this graph. This gives you another good way to look at it is in among the STEM jobs. If you look at the agriculture and engineering, if you look at the uh, computer science, life science, physical science, and social science, this the green bar, if you see it here, is how many job openings are there per year in the United States. And these other four bars are for the how many people are competing for that job, meaning how many graduates we have, PhD graduates, master's graduate, bachelor's graduate, associate degrees like this, certification. And so these are the one. So think about this in social sciences, for this much of job, these many people are competing, right? And if you look at in physical science, similar story, other, but look at in computer science. So you have much more job openings than we have graduate. Okay, and there is a reason for it. We'll go through that a little bit later, but just have that context in mind, and why you came here, decided you should think that, okay, I'm taking a right decision to come here to learn more about it. Another context I want to give it to you is why UCSC Extension might be so interesting to you guys. There are other universities around Bay Area. I know there are a lot of other competing ones, but think about where we are. Silicon Valley is in the heart. I mean, UCSC Extension is really in the heart of Silicon Valley, heart of Silicon Valley. We call it all Silicon Valley, San Francisco, Pleasanton, Fremont and all those, but real heart is in Santa Clara. That's where we are. And look at the companies around. These companies are like just minuscule of the company names are here, but they're much more than that. Another way to think about why it is important in here is look at in Silicon Valley, what is the number of office spaces compared with the office spaces in other cities around the country. This is just off the chart, completely off the chart. A chart is cannot even accommodate this. So what does it mean? The prospect of finding job around in this area is tremendous. Having said that, let me bring you to the context of why you are here. It's about the certification, about the classes you take in here, why you take classes in here, why you want to do these kind of things. You may have already a degree, you may be only working, or you are looking for a job, or you already have a high school or other degrees. So there are three important mission most of our students are. Many of them come here to advance their current field and career, or they want to change the career, or they even want to learn new things. You may be good in Java, but you want to learn C++, or you are doing everything, but now you want to go to cloud computing, or machine learning is new things. Those kind of scenarios where the student come in here. So I'm not going to go through all these things. You got the idea. There is a lot of jobs opening and a lot of jobs are not going to be filled. That's where the vacuum is. And that's where we come in picture. We come in picture UCSC extension type because the big universities cannot fill that gap because big universities are like a behemoth, like a big ship moving here and there with the new technology. They cannot do it so fast. They cannot change curriculum and all that. So we come in picture of saying, you know what, we can add the new technology in our curriculum faster because we are agile. We put that on and then we can fit in our certification program. Okay. So you can go through this, how our students have been uh, uh, taken advantage and how happy they are. One of the students my students went into the news, ABC News covered him when he had an app, and that app did very good. So some of the unique approach I do want to tell you, which is important for you to know, is as you saw, we are located in Silicon Valley. What is the advantage of that? What is that context is going to do is our teachers are working professional. They work in Cisco, walk into our building and teach there. They may be in NVIDIA, they come in there. They may be in Samsung, they come there and teach. So that's a good thing. You are going to learn the real world experience. What's going on in Silicon Valley, that's what you are going to be exposed to, okay? And again, you have a la carte. You are going to restaurant, you can have a full meal, or you can order a la carte. You can have individual courses, you can have a certification program, you can learn in online classroom, evening, weekend, all those things you can do it. And we try to make it fun. It's usually there is a very small classroom and teacher can talk to you, teacher know about you, um, you know and one of the things I show you how I make you magician. I have one program I saw in my Java class. I show them how can I guess your birthday of the month within 5 guesses. My program, when I run it, uh, one of the student will say that, okay, I'm going to be volunteer to ask you to guess my birthday. And then if somebody looks at this number and say, hey, my number is here, I will put a 1 here. If my number is not here, I'll put a 0. Number not here, 0. Number here, yes. Number here, yes. And I'll say, bingo, your birthday is 25. So in 5 guess, out of 31 numbers from 1 to 31, if I had to guess right every time, I may have to guess 31 times. But this magic program does only in 5 times. So one of the things I will throw at you is when you are asking me question, you should think, okay, how I do that? What is the way to do that one? Again, my time is kind of passing, so I'm going to go a little bit fast. And I can show you this program and take your brain, pick your brain also later on. Um, but I just want to go to tell you this when we are putting our certification program together is our certification is designed according to what is the job market, which kind of languages are more popular in particular job market. So we constantly look at it. Okay, SQL is high, Java is high, JavaScript is high. We will put those accordingly, right? That's how we do it. We offer those languages which are more popular, and we dynamically keep changing. This time also, we just had a review of our program to dynamically again, uh, align with how the industry is going on, right? And again, I can go through the question and answer session later, and you can ask me what is a typical class, what I'm expected to do. Do I have assignments? Yes, you will have assignment. You will have quizzes. You will have, projects. You may work in a group. You may work individually. A lot of things I can talk about it. And then about the certificate also, what is the requirement in the certificate? You can get a lot of this information in the website. And this is a typical one. You need 14 unit. 2 core courses are needed for each certification. We have many different types of certification. So, and what else? And then we have resources always available to you, and student services, training for the international students and all that. You can contact it. And this is the time I would ask for question and answer, but right now I'll stop it. We have another presenter presenting another certificate program. And after she finishes, then I will we'll come back to the question and answer. You can keep your questions ready to ask more questions later on. If you want me to show you that program again, I can go there later on. So right now I'm going to stop sharing and let Alka, our another presenter, share. Alka, do you hear me?
Yes, I do hear you.
Okay.
And I will start presenting for sure.
Okay. I see one of my student there, Tom. Hi, Tom. Welcome.
Okay, so welcome everybody. And Bineet did a very great job in giving you an overview of what UCSC Extension is all about. I will quickly go over the software quality and software engineering program. This is just my background. I have authored and published 12 books on software quality standards. I represent US in the development of international quality standards. And you can read about me on the web also. So why are we talking about software engineering and software quality? We are talking about it because even though we just hear about requirements, testing, design, code, there's a lot more to it. And what is this lot more? The competitive environment requires an approach to problem solving and decision making, which says that how should the software be built? And not only that, how does software interact with other technologies? If you really look around you in Silicon Valley, you will see that it is, even though people just say software quality, but that software works in cars, the software works in artificial intelligence, it works in cloud, it works in just about everything a company does. And it has to be aligned with the company's goals, meaning that if the company really wants to outshine the competitors, the software engineering and quality is very, very critical. Remember, folks, there isn't a single company in Silicon Valley, and the names that you have heard, the most common Fortune 500 companies, and even less popular companies, there isn't a single company that is not doing software right now. So software engineering is a very, very critical portion of every company and every career. And how you build the software and how you test it, how you develop it, the quality, it really affects the rapid time to market. And in today's global environment, competitive environment, that is very, very important. And predictive analysis. You have seen companies like Apple predicting when their next version of iPhone is going to come in. And just imagine if it doesn't come in, what happens to Apple stocks and the shareholders? So that predictive analysis is also done by software. And when I say software, the software has to be accurate. That's where your quality plays. And the code has to be written perfectly, tested perfectly, designed perfectly. That's where your engineering comes into play. You may have heard all of this because you're from Silicon Valley. I'm not going to talk about everything, but going to software quality elements out of software engineering, testing phase escapes, metrics, how you measure the number of defects that are encountered by your customers, how you develop your software. You all have heard about Agile, you've heard about cloud, you've heard about waterfall. And if you may not have heard about it, then you may have just read about it. Different companies use different life cycles. And when you encounter a defect, you have to do root cause analysis. That's your root RCA. In addition to this software quality elements, there are a number of things that we cover at the university. And as was mentioned by Bineet, our instructors are really state-of-art instructors. Why are we talking about software engineering? Why are we talking about software quality? Because it affects customer experience. Customer experience is customer satisfaction. If you have consistent Word that you are using, Word program that you're using, or Excel program, or PowerPoint program, you will have good experience. If you have a company that is proactive and that calls you and say, hey, you know, you purchased our PowerPoint, for example, and there is a defect there, we are therefore sending you a fix. Your experience will really improve. And if the companies who are developing the software and who are in software engineering, if they can have predictive methodologies such as telemetry, then they will know what their customers are using, which features they are using, how they are using, and how they need to emphasize on testing and writing the code, designing it, and putting the features in it. So what is the big picture? Big picture here is that not only we are talking about the maintainability of software, the quality, but we are also talking about security. Security is where, how does this hackers come into your systems? By writing code. And how do you write code for your systems that will prevent the hackers? Also, when new demands from customers comes in, most efficient software companies and operations team must automate. That's where your digitalization comes in. And at UC Santa Cruz Extension, as was mentioned by Bineet earlier, because all the instructors are working in Silicon Valley, they're very, very aware of how companies are automating, how they are digitalizing their processes, their procedures, and meeting the big picture. We've also seen the increased agility of products. You may have heard about agile development, where we are constantly developing and taking the product in the market, versus old times when you developed a big system and took 1.5 or 2 years. That will not scale in today's market. That will not scale in today's economy. And the customers are not ready to wait for 1 or 1.5 years for product. They want everything instantaneously. That's where your agile development comes in. But the agile is not good enough. We have now come up with DAVE, which is development, SEC, which is security, Ops, which is operations. Up until now, when you went for a job, You could just go into development organization or security department or operations department. Now, majority of the companies are merging all these three because they know that it is very, very important for the companies to pay attention to development, security, and operations. At UC Santa Cruz Extension, we are able to tell you about all of this. One instructor can give you a big picture of what is happening in artificial intelligence, what is happening in DevSecOps, what is happening in Agile, versus your traditional classes where you may go for 9 months or 10 months and learn about just one subject. We make you more marketable. You may have heard about cloud. Cloud is where all your data from your computer is not stored in your hard disk. It is stored someplace else, in somebody else's computer. So you do not need too much disk space, and you do not need too many people to maintain that disk space. These are all services that are being SaaS, service as an infrastructure, PaaS, which is platform as an infrastructure, and IaaS. These are all services that are being offered by majority of the companies that are Fortune 500, including IBM, Cisco, but of course, now Facebook is getting in there. Google has been there for a very, very long time. Amazon is getting there. Just about every company is going there. The companies that are not there, that are not these large known companies, they are using the services from these larger companies. What are some of the difficulties these companies are facing? You as students need to know about it, because if you are going for a job and you're aware of what's happening in the industry, your interviews will be much better and you will be able to market yourself. That's what UC Santa Cruz Extension instructors bring to the table. The one-on-one teaching, the vast experience that we bring. And it's not just experience of the United States. Some of us actually represent United States in international arena, and we can bring the international perspective to you also. What we offer. We offer you continuous scan of Silicon Valley for ongoing changes. In other words, what is Silicon Valley doing? You don't have to worry about it, because we, the instructors, we scan the industry, we change our classes accordingly each time, we change our slides each time, so that you will be on top of it. Even if you don't know everything about a topic, at least you would know what that topic is all about, so that if you go to a party, or if you're talking to some friends, or you go for a job interview, you will be able to talk constructively. As was said by Bineet, we hire industry experts with hands-on expertise. Many of us work in Silicon Valley companies. We are right on top of technologies, cloud, artificial intelligence, Bitcoins, agile development, you name it. And we not only speak to it, we can actually write books on it. And the most important is the instructor passion that you will see around the campus. Our instructors don't rely on just their teachings. They have a full-time job. They are teaching in the evenings because they are passionate about you. They're passionate about the students. They're passionate about bringing their students to the state of art, technologies, instructions. And you will get individual attention. We've already talked about the teaching abilities. And we can give you, in the software engineering and software quality program, complete know-how of quality, And what are some of the components that makes up software engineering? What are some of the components that really makes up software quality? So whether you go in a healthcare industry or you go in a telecommunication company or any other sector, the knowledge that you have gained in the class, you will be able to take it any place and implement it. Now what I want to do is just stop right here and see if you have any questions for Bineet or I. When you are asking questions, please let us know whether your question is pertaining to Bineet or whether your questions is pertaining to what I just presented. With that, I'm opening up the floor.
Time to ask questions.
Exactly.
Not much of activity in the chat session.
So I will tell you, for those of you who are online, and if you don't have questions, hey, we have some questions for you. To ask Peter, can you unmute yourself and tell us what was the purpose of you attending this class? And did you get what you were looking for?
Thank you, Professor. Yeah, I just want to know uh, how to go, how to say, yeah, the path go to the software engineer, and I want to know the structure of this major class, and yeah, maybe I want to uh, transfer the career. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And Peter, you will see that if you have any questions or anything, the UC Santa Cruz staff is available. Us instructors are available, so you can contact us via UC Santa Cruz Extension staff, and we will be more than glad to give you coaching or which class you should attend. I'm going to go to another person, Poonam Batra. Poonam, can you unmute yourself and tell us your purpose of attending this class?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to get like an overview, of the two programs and just a little bit better understanding of what's covered in each one and see how if anyone studies these two programs, how their value will be in Silicon Valley for finding a good job or career. Yes.
Absolutely. So Poonam, I can attest to that because I worked for Cisco Systems for 25 years. And I know that when I would look for a resume, if both the resumes are very similar experience and one says that they have two certificate programs, they have done certificate programs from UC Santa Cruz Extension, I am going to lean towards that. I'm not saying that just because. I'm saying it because that's the truth. Let me tell you why. The reason being, as a hiring manager, if I'm looking at some resume and the individual has taken additional classes, I would think that that person is very serious about their profession to invest their time and money in a certificate program. Not only that, knowing about UC Santa Cruz Extension, knowing about the reputation, I know that whatever you may have learned in those classes would be beneficial to me and my company if you're applying in the certificate programs that Bineet and I are talking about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Let me add to that, Alka already, so eloquently already address it, Poonam. Poonam, first question is, were you my student in one of the class? Names, Huh?
Yeah, I was.
Okay,
Yeah, I
name
was.
okay, name sounds very familiar. Okay, so you know me. Uh,
Yeah.
so so the
I
you,
just I
go
just
ahead.
I just joined to get an overview, and maybe I can share, the value your school brings to other people that I know might be looking for a job.
Very good. So why don't you,
Okay.
I will ask you a question later, but I just want to add on to what Olga just told about how much she values the resume of this certification. So think about another aspect of that is, say, suppose I'm manager and I have done it, and then we call it professional growth. One of the, as a manager, we always ask our direct reports is, hey, you need to have career growth because technology is changing so fast. We don't want our employees to stuck in whatever they know so far and they're head down, they keep doing whatever they are doing. They need to expand. They need to expand their new, in new areas and new things. So one of the things we say is you have to have a professional growth. And most of our students in UCSC extensions and other extensions also are gainfully, they already have employed. They come there to get another technology. And believe it or not, I take classes myself in UCSC Extension, and some of you have seen me as a student. I took IoT class. I was like, what is this IoT? I want to go and see it. I took one machine learning class. I took one Hadoop class myself. And when my students see me, I say, Bineet, what are you doing? I say, hey, I don't know Hadoop. I need to know the Hadoop. So that's another aspect of this is you may be already in a employee status, but you may want to go to somewhere else. And it's a new thing, it's a curious, and then things are so changing, you don't want to be stagnant. So that's another good thing. Poonam, now that I caught you, and I think Tom is gone, or Tom is here. Tom is gone, I think. So I have what give me some experience you had with me. I'm putting myself in a crossbar now. You can tell the truth. What did you learn in my class, and what was your experience? Do you want to, talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, sure. You may remember I was the lady who asked you a lot of questions in your class. Maybe you remember me that way. Uh,
Yes, yes,
I always asked you lots of questions, and you said you liked that I was inquisitive. So
yeah. All
because
right.
I'm not satisfied until I understand whatever the concept is being presented, and if I'm not clear, then I will ask questions because I feel that's what I'm there for, right? So
Yeah, very good, very good.
um,
Uh,
And that
yeah,
is the Punam, that is the personalized training that both Beneath and I talked about, where you are able to ask as many questions as you like.
yeah. So
yeah,
so one
and
of
I
the
really
things, yes, sure. Go ahead, Poonam. You know,
I was just saying that I really appreciate it because I took the class in person, not online, mainly for that reason because I wanted the interaction. I wanted the one-on-one interaction between the instructor and the material and my classmates, and I didn't want online. And at that time, I could do that because it was before the pandemic. So and
really,
uh,
you,
and
you,
yeah, what I learned was I took your Java class, the first Java class, and I had a lot of fear when I went into the course because I didn't know anything about Java, and I think you helped to calm some of my anxiety as the course went along, and I did struggle with some of the projects I remember, and then I think I reached out to you for help, and you followed up with me, and you were able to get me through. I mean, I may not have got when I was stuck at that time. I may not have got the complete answer to what my issue was, but you helped me to get past it, and I think I got an A in your class from what I remember. Yeah,
good.
but I still want to feel. I still feel like I still don't feel like very confident, like that I can go and work for a company and write code in Java. So I probably may need some tips from you on how to continue
Yeah,
my self study or whatever I need to do to keep my confidence and my knowledge going in that area. So that's where I would need help still.
Yeah, Poonam, I sorry, very well remember you. So somebody was about to say something.
Yeah. This is Rocky, and I was just listening to the lady before me who was just talking and listening to what she had her experience about the class. So for this class, are the languages that you guys teach, are they Java? Is it Java, Python, and C+?
No, there are a lot of other classes also. Have you gone to our website where we listed in the certification program all of the
Yeah,
courses?
I've been
Yeah.
to your I've been to the website, so I've looked at a lot of different options there. But specifically for these programming classes, what are the languages that you guys teach?
C, C++,
Java,
Java,
yes,
Python.
Python,
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
yes. And Rocky, it really depends on what your career aspirations are, what your company would like to see in you, or if you are looking for a new job, where would you like your expertise to be? And then you can go to UC Santa Cruz Extension website and look for the classes that will apply to you.
Okay.
And you can
Yeah.
also reach out to the instructors ahead of time to see what they will teach you, so that way you will feel comfortable with it.
Okay, great. Yeah, so some of my career aspirations, I actually work in IT, but I'm nowhere like a developer type, but that's my current goal and that's my pathway. So I do know that in our department, they utilize Java is very heavy there. And then we're also starting to dive into some Python. So I think for me, these programs I believe align with those aspirations, my career aspirations. So I'll definitely look into a little bit more, but I'm glad I caught the presentation today. So thank you very much.
Yeah, so for people like you who don't want to be hardcore programmer, I would say the first program to get started could be Python. Okay, so start with that. The only thing I do want to tell you is Python is scripting language, though it is, what does that mean is it is not, not type specific. So, but it is heavily used in, if you want to learn machine learning or AI, or like a data science, those areas it is used a lot. So that's why you'll see Python job everywhere, and it's very popular, very easy to pick. So that may be something you want to go through. Or Java, for that matter, is a full-fledged high-level language, very object-oriented, but that is also very easy to pick, really, as a first language if you want to pick. Believe it or not, there is something called Go language. You say, okay, now you are throwing me another language. What's going on in here? Uh, so the Go language is really the best of the best. I can tell you that. It is developed by Google, and as the Google is, they have behemoth, they have big machine, and very intelligent people work in there in that sense. So what they have done is they have picked up all the best of the good language, like C++ is very hardcore programming language, fastest to run, very efficient. And Java is good object-oriented language, and Python is very easy to pick. Their syntax is good. You know what they did? They combined it and called Go language. This is what I see. When I learned it very fast and I found it, oh my God, whatever I didn't like in all of these guys, this Go language has it. So yeah, so the point is language is very interesting. All you have to do is pick one or two in the beginning. Pay very good attention to just one or two. Just don't think about too many of them. Take one, be very good at it, and you'll be surprised how fast you can pick up other languages. Okay. Anybody
Tom
else?
Crook,
Yeah.
Tom Crook, let me pick on you. If you're still there, you can unmute yourself and tell us what was your intention of joining today's class. And it seems like Tom is not there. So Tanya, are you there?
I am, but I'm a staff member, no questions.
Yeah, that is
okay. Great. And how about Anne? and Pasco.
And Pastor Muhammad is there. You know, anybody can speak up.
Yes, please.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. I've taken classes at UCSC before. I've taken the database systems a few years ago. I think about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I have, I have a computer science. I have a bachelor's in computer science, but I got it from National University. For some reason, I was not able to get a programming job, but I'm working in marketing. So the reason I'm taking, I was thinking about maybe doing another certification to be able to get a job, because maybe I'm not good at it or whatever the reason is. I think in college, we take too many different programming classes and we don't concentrate on any particular one. So by the time we go to go apply for a job, they really want some experience, not just like touch-up experience. You know, they really want you to be able to have some sort of solid experience, not just like, okay, you know this and you know that, but you know, it's like so that's why I was taking this.
Right. And Muhammad, you know, in your case, and I've instructed many of my students in the past, that if you really don't find any job at all, you may want to volunteer, meaning that there are companies like Red Cross, Salvation Army, and others who may want to have some volunteers help them with the programming as far as their sites or their communication websites are concerned, internal websites. I know Goodwill is constantly hiring volunteers to update their online website, and that can be considered as experience. Granted, you won't be paid for it. So if you have a job in marketing, you continue doing this, but at the same time, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever the case may be, spend a couple of hours volunteering, writing code for, and if nothing works, right, if there are some friends who are starting their own business and they need websites, you help them write the code for their websites, and that can be considered your experience.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I mean, I've done that before, and I've written programs for myself, by myself. So you mentioned Red Cross, and what other company you mentioned?
Goodwill. Goodwill.
Oh, Goodwill. Okay.
Yeah. And the other thing, Mohammed, you may want to look at is resume writing skills. And let me tell you why. Because resume writing skills says you don't have to lie on your resume, but you can emphasize some of the points so that when somebody looks at it, it grabs them. And that's what happens. Not every hiring manager finds a person that they're looking for with the same qualifications that they advertised.
Right. And
everybody settles. Everybody settles.
Yeah, but I'm not even looking full force for a programming job because I'm so comfortable in my position right now. Because I have this in my mind that programmers are dime a dozen. So, and the job security isn't there. That's in the back of my head.
But remember, Mohammed, what we are talking about is programming, right?
Right.
But now we are also talking about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence require algorithms. Those algorithms are written in languages, in programming. Bitcoins, these are the latest technologies. Bitcoins, that requires software.
Correct.
Yeah, if you're just working in mandate software company and just doing the same thing over and over again, and that's why Bineet had said earlier that you need to develop your skills in such a way that you can transform yourself from where you're comfortable. You never want to be comfortable with your job. The minute you are comfortable with your job, you stop learning.
Oh,
So what you want to do is update your skills on constant basis, because the software programming is what is driving NASA and the rockets to the moon.
right.
The software programming is driving all the robots and everything in the warehouses. Companies like Tesla and everybody, they rely very heavily on software. So that's why programming, knowing programming is very, very important, very critical for the future of your job security. Because digitalization, what is digitalization? It is automating all the processes in your companies. How do you automate all the processes? You write programs to automate some of the manual processes.
Right.
So keep that in back of your mind,
Yep.
and then you can explore your options.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Johnny, did you speak anything? Did you have any question? Johnny Chow, I think.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, thanks for having me here at the seminar. No, I don't have any questions. My previous job touched a little bit on software QA, and I was only the end user of it, of other person's testing scripts. So that's what got me interested.
Yeah, and Johnny, you know, the testing and QA has now gone to a larger extent, meaning that the testing jobs that used to pay you $60,000 or $70,000 are now paying you $130,000 to $140,000 because of mission critical projects, software projects that has to be tested.
Yeah.
And many of the companies are now relying more on testers to test the products because of customer experience. And that's where the competitiveness of companies come in. Because of the media, where media is right now, Facebook and Twitter, companies know how critical quality is for their products because they can lose their shirt over it. And that is the reason why they're emphasizing software quality and testing. And that is the reason why they're even willing to pay the highest bucks to the people who know testing. But remember, software quality is not just testing. Software quality is also doing root cause analysis and knowing how to do it. It is also how to prevent the phase escapes. Software quality is also to make sure that all the defects are caught in development and not by the customer. Software quality is also knowing the standards of quality. And there are many international standards. So the smaller portion of testing of that part of software quality has now grown to be a bigger umbrella. And all of this together, all these puzzles together makes up software quality. And you can make yourself very marketable with just knowing about software quality and all the components that fits inside.
Yeah, let me add to that, you know, there are a lot of jobs which are very fusion of computer programming and software quality assurance. And I'll give you an example. You may have heard about automation. So what happens is, you know, there are, you know, Olga can talk about those things in very much detail, but I can tell you where I'm involved. There is a cloud computing big companies in here called Diamante. They have a private cloud hardware and software. What they need is they have very good cloud infrastructure program. They're just bringing up is high compute, everything in one machine, networking, storage, and compute, everything in one place. and then they have to automate their testing. They're constantly making new releases and all that. They need automation testing, and they have around 300, 400 different test cases, which is, they have written. They have to test it, and they want to find people who can write Go language program scripting to be able to do that. So I'm tying up with them, my students in Cogswell, and then I'm running a class in cloud computing. I'm asking these students to write the script for them. So they are really writing code to do the testing. So again, the idea about testing is, maybe people are thinking in different way, but testing is really kind of fusing. There's so many aspects, as Alka was trying to say, is of that one. And one of the thing, as I said, is also writing program. In test scripts are written in either Python, Java, Go language, you name it, and it is very high level work to do it. And then they pay a lot. And then nowadays, almost there is no difference between the developers and the SQA, how much they make money. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I have one question.
Rocky.
So in addition to these programming languages and the software quality, do you guys teach any methodologies as part of the program, like Agile or anything? Is that incorporated into these programs at all?
Yeah, in software quality assurance and testing, we do talk about what Agile is. But remember, if you want to know Agile inside out, now you have to learn all the aspects of being a Scrum Master and what a Scrum Master does, and all of these things, right? For
Okay.
that, there are a lot more details. And
Okay.
there are Agile classes that are X number of weeks. But in software testing and quality assurance, we do touch upon all the methodologies, yes.
Okay, great.
And
Thank
then
you.
what it does for you, Rocky, is if you're aware of all this high-level awareness, then you can explore and say, hey, I'm really interested in Agile, or I'm really interested in DevSecOps methodology, and then you can go after that class.
Okay.
And just there are a lot of, even in website and all that, you go learning Scrum and all that. There's like, if there's a 5-minute Scrum, 10-minute Scrum introduction and all that. All my classes in right now in Cogswell, my students do their project using the Agile methodologies. They do the Scrum, they do the stand-up in every class, all those interesting stuff. Agile is really nothing more than like completing your project in a smart way, thinking that there will be change coming in, and do project development in small pieces. Alka was telling it, in the old days, like Oracle used to take like 2 years or 3 years to bring one software out. Sometimes they will just die their, slow death without even seeing the light, because they're so behemoth. Nowadays, it's called constant development, CDCI, constant development, constant integration, and that's all done by Agile. Every 2-3 weeks there is some software coming out. For like Salesforce, every quarter they have a new release. It's just the part of it. They just release it. They make
Right.
it improvement. They add stuff. So it's all about Agile, and
And just to add a little bit more to what Bineet said, as far as Agile is concerned, it's not a new concept, because we knew about Agile in late 60s. We used to call it rapid development. We did not have too much structure there. Similarly, right now we are talking about cloud. It's not a new concept. We used to have remote computing. It was one and the same. But now we have put more structure to these things, and there are more policies, there are more procedures, there are more standards, and there's more training.
Yeah, I'm chuckling, Alka, that, it's
Yeah.
like today we know about Airbnb, right? But
Yes.
that's not a new concept. It's
No.
paying guest. We used to have paying guest in our home, right?
Exactly. Exactly. You are right. You're absolutely right.
Now we call it a, you know, uh,
Yeah, fancy
Airbnb.
Airbnb. Yes.
Yes, that's the idea.
Yeah, and look at machine learning, right? Machine learning is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So I mean, and what is machine learning? Machine learning is you're teaching a robot. We have had robots for years and years and years. So it is an all the technologies, we are revamping it, making it more sophisticated, but of course, with latest code and latest languages and more efficient.
So, Alka, I have 4 minutes to go. So why not I do that fun thing I wanted to show you
Yeah,
guys?
please do. And I
Okay.
need to leave for another international meeting.
Uh-huh.
So I will say goodbye to everybody. Thank you very much. And thank you, UC Santa Cruz Extension, for hosting this session. And Bineet, it was a great pleasure co-partnering with you.
Sure, me too. Thank you, Alka.
Okay,
Okay,
take care.
bye-bye. So
Bye.
we have just 3-4 minutes. I want to pick somebody in here. So Rocky, you are the one who was talking last, right, Rocky?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I want to play this game. Okay. I
Okay.
call it a guess birthday. So I don't know you. I first time I think I saw you, right, Rocky? We have not
This
met.
is the first time. Yep.
Right. So I will never know what is your birthday, right? Is that
Right.
possibility? No. Okay.
Mhm.
So so you can see my screen right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me run this program and running in Java. So you see there are 4 into 4, there are 16 numbers there. You see that number? And
Yes.
everybody pay attention in here, okay? There's a trivia question for everybody, okay? So I have this chat session. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Okay, okay, thank you. So now, okay, sorry about that. I got distracted. Now, tell me, is your birthday here in these numbers?
That's going to be 0 for no.
No, you don't have it. How about in this set? Again, everybody pay attention. Okay.
That's going to be 1 for yes.
1 for yes. Okay. Now, how about here?
That's 0 for no.
0 for no. Okay. Now?
And that's also 0 for no.
Okay. Now?
0.
Huh. You were born on 4th, right? Oh, sorry, 2nd. I meant to say 2nd. 2nd, yeah.
Yep. That's it.
That's
I was
it.
born on the 2nd, yeah.
You're born on 2nd. Okay,
Yep.
maybe I'm lucky, Rocky, right? I found Rockies. Hey, Mohammed, let me pick you. Let me start all over again. Can you?
Okay.
Okay, you tell me when to say yes or no. Is your number here? No, 0. How about now?
Yes.
Yes. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. How about now?
No.
I'm guessing, but is it 16 or something? No, 14. Why my numbers are wrong? Okay.
Yeah,
No, but
14 is
but
correct.
that's 14 is the right number, right?
14 is correct. Yes.
Yeah. It's a 14. Sorry. Okay. So let me ask. Now I think everybody should know that I'm guessing correctly. Okay. Anybody wants to try? I can do it again. No, nobody wants to try. So now is the time for you guys to guess. How does this work out? Anybody has an idea except Tom? Tom cannot say because Tom knows it. Or maybe Poonam also should know this.
So there's got to be a formula somewhere.
Yeah, what kind of formula this is? This is a brainstorming session, okay? You got to think, what is the formula here? How these tables are here, if you see it, the numbers are changing. They're not same set of numbers, but they are always 16 numbers in each one of them, right? You see that?
Yes.
But this number of changing, but 31 is here, 31 is there, 31 is there, 31 is there, 31 is there, right? You see that?
Yeah. Yep.
But how about 23? 23 is here, 23 is here, 23 is here, 23 is not here, and 23 is here. How does that work out? So anybody wants to throw in something? The rest of the time we are almost out of time, but I'll just take it.
Well, you have 5 yes and no questions. That's 5 binary tests, and you need exactly 5, because with 5 questions, you get at least 31.
Oh my God, what he's talking about binary. Anybody knows what he's talking about? Mohammed, I think you.
Binary sort, I guess.
Or
not by.
No,
Binary numbering system he's talking about. Actually,
yeah,
John.
Oh, zeros and ones, right?
Yeah.
You could do cut the list in half and then cut it in half again, depending upon where the number is.
Not really. I'm not doing that way. Did I do that?
Yeah.
I did not do that. I just sort these numbers. I'm doing a little bit different way. I know what you're talking about. Keep on cutting after 31. How many times I'll do? I'll cut it to 16 is one time. Cut it to 8 one time. Cut it to this one, right? But I did not do that way. See, I just sort the different numbers, right?
I see.
Where this set of number comes from, right? That's the trick in there. And the trick, what he said is the binary numbering system. So what is the binary numbering system is a zeros and one. Using zeros and one, you can represent all numbers, okay? So what is happening is, see, if you see this number, the first number you see is here 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, right? Okay, now try to think this 0 and 1. What do you do? Very simply, how this works. If it is a 0, don't count these numbers, okay? If it's a 1, count the first number, it's a 2.
Okay.
And if it is a 1, count this number and add to that 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. If there is a 1, add this first number, 8. So 8, 4, 12, 14, right?
Yeah.
And this is 0. So what is the number? 14.
14, okay.
So if my birthday is 25, right? I have here, so I'll count 1. I don't have here, I'll not count this 2. Okay, 1. I don't count this one also. There's no 25. 25 is here, and I'll count 1. 1 and 8 is 9. And my 25 is here. 9 plus 16 is 25. You see that?
Oh, okay.
So just the combination of this 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16 will give me a number between 1 to 31. Okay? Just combination of this. Whether I drop 16 or I drop 8 or I drop 4 or 2. But where are these numbers coming from? What are these 1 or 2 or 4? Okay? So the binary goes by the power of 2. Okay? So 2 to the power 0 is 1. Okay? 2 to the power 0 is 1. 2 to the power 1 is 2. 2 to the power 2 is 4. 2 to the power 3 is 8. 2 to the power 4 is 16. So 0 to 4, there are 5 digits. This is how it works.
Yep.
Now the crazy thing left to think about it is, well, that's all good. You did it. But how did you pick these numbers to put it in different numbers in different places? Anybody can think of it? No, all you have to do it is, what you have to do it is you have to create 5 digits 010101 placeholder and put 1 in the last 5th one, and the 2 is 210, so that will come. Similarly, in 5, the matrix of the 5 by 31, you can represent all of the numbers with zeros and 1. Once you do that, then start from the right corner, say that whoever has the 1 in the right, whichever number has 1 in it. I don't know whether I put that in my slide or not. But if I have, I can show you that is somewhere. I didn't put it, but what happens is these numbers are in a slide. The last one has 1. These numbers have 1 in that slot. So I pick that. Another one has got 1 in this for this number to pick that one. I should have put a slot of those numbers of the metrics, and then you'll see, oh, that's what I'm talking about, because each number is represented by 0 and 1. That's what it is. So this is a lot of fun thing, again, makes you think a little bit how to write it. So that's how programming also can be very fun. Okay. So guys, if you guys don't have any question, I can stop right here and we can stop this session. Otherwise, I'm again ready to answer your question, and then you can reach it to me. You can go to the student services and ask them to connect with me. I'm always available, and I have a lot of my students around in here also. So you can connect with them, talk to them. If you find the students like Poonam or Tom who have taken classes before, and they are our ambassadors. Okay.
Hey, Bineet. So I don't have any questions, but I do feel like I got a lot out of this session. So I really appreciate your time. I'm going to go back in and take a look at the program and see if there's something that maybe I can start and begin. So appreciate it. And thanks for everything.